my music was always of a spiritual nature. I was leaning heavily towards spirituality. I always used to love finding new truths and then putting them into my songs, or sharing my new ideas in my songs. And when I found the Urantia book, like I said, I reached to a point of frustration in my search. And one of my frustrations was that I wanted to know who was Melchizedek. I was convinced that he wasn't human. I was convinced that he wasn't Jesus, as a few of my ministers tried to tell me. But I was also convinced that he was still available on our planet. Because in Hebrews 7 it says, he had no genealogy, no mother or father, no beginning of days, no ending of life, but remains a priest continually. And when I read that, I said, I believe in my heart and in my soul that these words are the truth. There's something about Hebrews that is very different than the rest of the Bible. Very different. So I started looking for Melchizedek and trying to find more truth about him, which was a very tough thing to do. And then I was also convinced that evolution took place, because the first garden, before Adam and Eve were in the garden, the Bible kind of made it pretty clear that human beings were on the planet multiplying and being fruitful. And then when Cain killed his brother, he went north to the land of Nod and found a wife and built a city. So for some reason, I had a feeling that, there was life before Adam and Eve. And I believe that with the scientific findings, that it is possible for science and evolution and religion to be harmonious. I was trying to find clues as well about who Jesus really was. I also wanted to know where the angels were ascending and descending from. I wanted to know where Enoch and Elijah had gone to. And I actually, because I never had a real dad, or my own dad, my real blood father disowned me before I was even born. So I wanted to know where my spiritual father lived. I was convinced that he had a home, a place that I could call home and visit. And so, with all these questions on my mind, I asked God for the answers, and when I found the Urantia book, every single question I had was answered. And at the time I found the book, my life was, I was trying to be a good guy, but I wasn't living up to my highest standards by far. And once I found the book, it inspired me to check myself even on a deeper level, on a personal level, not just with the norms or the mores of my neighborhood or community, but with the mores within my mind. And it caused me to start changing my life internally. And I think that was another challenge for me, to be a spiritual person but still be one of the guys.